Hello everyone, welcome back. The last command that we're talking about, I believe will be the last one. We have something else, we'll come back to this one later. So the last command that we're talking about in the draw toolbar, there are others. We're talking polyline here. Now, polyline, what is it and why we need to use polyline in AutoCAD? Now, the name of it, polylines, means that it's multi-line. We have it, multi-line, polyline, but at the end it will give you one object. So it's a combination of line, arc, basically line and arc. At the end it will show as one object. What does it mean? Look at those those two rectangles. Now in a drawing both of them seems to be similar, but if I click on this one, you will see that whole rectangle will be selected together. But if I click on here, now each side will be selected alone. So this is consist of 4 segments. Call them segment, the segment 1, or object, object 2, third object, the fourth object. But here it's only one object. If I select, for example, here, whole will be selected. Select here the same. Anyway you select, whole object will be selected. Why? Because this is one object. This is one object. Now both of them, they have their own benefits. They have their own benefits. I mean, if we made a mistake in this rectangle, or someone tells you, okay, we don't need this line here, we don't need this part here. I mean, you cannot just simply delete this one easy with polyline. You have to use some methods to do it. There are a way to do it, but in this case I can just simply click on this one and delete it. This is one of the benefits of multi-object over polyline. But polyline in 3 dimension, when we're going to show it to you in modeling, it's one of the must used icon. It's one of the must used icon. And there's other ways we tell you that polyline has many more features over line. The other things that we said, that if someone wants to find the center of this shape, now we know the center of this one, we can find it, but for polyline, when we have polyline, if from here, if geometric center activated, if you activate geometric center, now I can find the center of this shape easily. Now you may say, okay, this is the rectangle. Yes, it's easily. But imagine if I have an irregular shape. Yes. Now where is the center of this area? Someone is asking you to draw something and they will tell you that we need to put, for example, one of this equipment exactly in the middle of the area. Well, if you use line to draw this one, look, this is polyline, yes? I drew it as line. Now let me just show it to you. Don't mind this procedure, I'm doing it here. Don't mind this procedure. I'm doing something. Now, let's say you have exactly similar drawing, but this is made with line. This is drawn with line, so I can click on any sides the one. This one is one object, it's polyline. So as you said, that if someone asks me where's the center of this shape, I can find it easily with the polyline. Why? Because it tells me this is the centroid, the center, geometric center is here. This is the center, the geometric center of this shape. But here, I have to use a lot of techniques to find the center, which is not easy. By the way, it's not easy to find the center of this one. We know it engineering way how to find centroid, but you have to divide it into a lot of areas and find the centroid of the areas, then you can find the center of the shape. But just by having this command, using this one, I can find where is the center, geometric center. This is one of the benefits of polyline over line finding center. Well, many more features we have it in polyline. So when you're talking about polyline, don't worry, it's not a new command. It is combination of line and arc. You already know how to draw line, you already know how to draw arc, so you just simply draw them with polyline. So let's come back to one of the, let's say, the one that we did it here. For I can draw some of these shapes with polyline. Let's say I can draw this triangle with polyline. Yes, I can draw this triangle with polyline. Why? Because it's line, I can use polyline, multi-line to draw it. I can use multi-line to draw this triangle. Well, if I use polyline, so when you activate polyline, it will simply work as line. It will ask you specify start point. Let's say I'm starting with a coordinate. Then, this is the starting point, yes? This is the starting point. Now, check the combination of the options that we have it at the bottom. I can change it to arc. We have half length, something called length, undo, width. We have a lot of information here. But before going, let's say I'm not touching any of those properties here. It will ask me what? Specify next one. I'm drawing as it is line. I'm going to hashtag, what was the coordinate here? Hashtag 1520, hashtag 15, 20, enter. Then I'm going to this point, 2510, then come back. So hashtag 2510. Oh, I think I didn't write hashtag, I made wrong. Control Z.